What's going on, guys? It's your boy Ed representing the Party Nerdz Live podcast, and you are watching Codex Prime.
Alright, hello and welcome to the Codex Prime podcast Code Extra special edition on Sunday, June 17th, 2018. I am your host, Victor Omoayo, and with me as always is my co-host and social media chair, Carl Byrd.
What's good, everybody?
And joining us in studio, well, technically via Skype, but still in studio. You know what I mean. We got, straight from the Party Nerdz, Ed Figueroa.
What's going on, guys? What's happening?
Hey,
Nothing
man.
much, man. I've been wanting to work with these guys since I found them on Instagram.
Yeah.
It's been like such a long time coming. I mean, we've been trying to do this forever, but I know we kind of clash with our time slots on Tuesday when we go live.
Yeah.
It has been a while since we tried to get something together, but now with everything that's been happening with this whole week, with E3 happening, this is like the perfect storm. So it just had to happen.
Yeah, definitely. And AJ, I wanted to get AJ on here too, but he couldn't make it. I guess he has some. Nah.
He has another pre-engagement, but I'm gonna try and force him to take a day off, so that way he can go on and talk nonsense on behalf of us, because I know he's definitely opinionated too.
Oh yeah.
So one of these days.
And he can still catch these hands. We tried with Dragon Ball FighterZ like a couple months ago. We just couldn't get it.
All he does is practice Dragon Ball. Like all he talks about is Dragon Ball, and now he's got Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle,
That
another one that
shit
he's trying
is.
to get into a lot more.
That's a dope game.
Oh yeah.
That's dope. I played it at GameStop just on a trip there, and they had the demo set up, and that looks pretty. That was pretty good.
It's really fun. Like just the fact that you have like these universes that you can combine into one game and use the same mechanics throughout. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad that they put it together.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So we're talking E3 2018. Like, there's just, like, so much hot fire, as Dylon would say, just, like, from all the studios. Yeah. Like, since you talked about E3 on your show, like, of all the massive games that you saw, like I know right before we started the show, I was gonna ask you about your top three, but I'm gonna expand it a little bit. So, what would you say would be your top 5 games that you're looking forward to from the E3 2018 conference?
So it feels like this E3, it was so packed to the brim with games that you want to play now or sometime in 2018. Like each conference try as much as they can to impress with all the games that they were trying to show off. And I think the one game that stood out the most to me throughout all of E3 was actually the biggest surprise out of all of E3, and that was Resident Evil 2 Remastered. Remake, I should say.
Yes.
Yeah.
When I first saw that trailer, I didn't know what I was expecting. I was actually with me, AJ, a couple other Party Nerds, as well as Pete, who's another friend of ours from another podcast called the Comics Pals. We went to the E3 experience in Philadelphia and watched it in the theater. And we saw the trailer with the rat and the shells and whatever was going on with it. And literally, when we saw Leon Kennedy show up, all bets were off. We were just like, okay, we know where this is going to go. It's going to be it's Resident Evil. It looks amazing. Just the fact that they're using the Resident Evil 7 engine to its fullest potential. You have Resident Evil 4's gameplay, so it's back to that traditional over-the-shoulder style gameplay, so that way it doesn't feel like the clunkiness of the old days, not first person like the new games are. It just looks awesome. Like everything about it just looks really, really good, and it threw me for a loop. And also the fact that they're bringing it out in January.
Yeah.
Literally, it's going to come out really, really shortly. So I think it was just a complete surprise and shock and awe that they just dropped Resident Evil 2 just like that.
Now from what I heard, it's going to be basically exactly the old game from PlayStation 1.
Yes.
Just with the 7 engine.
Right. So it's a 7's engine, 4's gameplay mechanics, and then 2 story. That's basically kind of like the perfect storm of Resident Evil. So everybody loved Resident Evil 2.
Yeah, that was my favorite Resident Evil.
Culturally, they feel that was the best. Everybody loves Resident Evil 4 because it revolutionized the gameplay. Everybody loves 7 because of its engine, its graphics, and the first-person mechanics. So it took little parts of each of those games and combined them into one. So it's like the perfect Resident Evil game for this console generation.
Yeah, and plus it was a perfect decision to make Resident Evil 2 a remake, because that was not only one of my favorite Resident Evil games. But like that was a game that I've always wanted to see a remaster or a remake of for years. Like since like the first remastered edition for Resident Evil 1 on the GameCube, and then later for the PS3 and 4. And like you said, when they took all the best elements, like engine wise, from each of the Resident Evil games, like for part 2, like that's like game of the year material right there. Even though technically the game came out 20 years ago, like it feels like a brand new experience. And
it feels like when we go into 2019, it has the ability to just kind of just surprise as like a game of the year contender just for all that going into it. And it makes me forget that they didn't really touch RE2 and 3, like I think in the GameCube era, like they really didn't expand upon that after they did the big remaster of 1, and then 1 just kind of took off.
Yeah,
you just saw it get remastered on all the systems on the PS4 and the Xbox One. They brought it back up for that, and then you saw like all the other Resident Evils come to play. But 2 and 3 kind of didn't really get too much shine ever since the remaster kit came in. Now 2's here, so I'm curious to see if 3's going to do the same.
Yeah, same here too. And that reminds me, since we mentioned Resident Evil 7, you know, Carl, he rage quit Resident Evil 7.
Rage quit.
Which, you know, it's kind of sad story, man. You got to get back on that horse, though.
Listen, there's a lot of horses. There's a couple of horses I got to get back on. I still haven't finished Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah.
Apparently, I thought I finished God of War, but then you told me that there's more.
Yep.
So I'm like, what?
My studio mentioned that too.
Yeah, I'm thinking like this. You know, you got the credits rolling. So I'm like, all right, I'm cool, but why am I still moving? Mm-hmm. I gotta go to work. I'm done. So I'm like, yes, I beat it. And then my friend, then Vic and a couple of other buddies of mine told me like, yo, there's more. You did not finish it.
Yeah.
Now I'm working on The Last of Us. I started Bloodborne. I gotta do that. Mm-hmm. I downloaded Black Ops 3, which was I had remember I said on the show that I had a bone to pick with Sony.
Yeah.
So if you remember at Sony's press conference, they said, "Yo, Black Ops 3 is available right now."
Yeah.
I was literally working on it.
Surprise announcement.
Yeah, I was working on it all night trying to get it, and nothing. Like nobody got it. I was going on Twitter seeing if anybody else got it, and all they keep saying is "Why you lying" memes and stuff. And then next morning, that's when I got it.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm okay, but still.
It's interesting because when we were at the PlayStation Experience, they gave us all these badges
Mm-hmm.
that had QR codes, and we scanned it in their PlayStation app, like this Experience app that we downloaded. It actually gave you codes like that you can use on your PlayStation for like avatars or for like a free Guacamelee download or PlayStation dollars.
Right.
But you couldn't. But I was trying to redeem them while we were at the theater, and you couldn't. Same idea. You had to wait till the next morning because they didn't go active until the next morning. So same idea. Like a lot of the stuff they gave us at the Experience, we couldn't even use yet. We had to wait the next day.
Oh man.
So same idea.
Yeah. And so you got Resident Evil 2, the remake coming out. What else is on your top 5 from E3? It's like, what's your number 2?
So since I'm going off of surprises for the most part, because obviously there's a lot of games that were announced at E3 that are really, really big, and I'm touch on one or two of those as we get to the end. Mm-hmm. But another surprise that actually got gameplay revealed at E3, even though it wasn't at one of the major conventions, but some of the other big outlets showed off gameplay on their stage shows. So like GameSpot, IGN will sometimes have developers come on stage and show off the games to say like, hey, here's some of the games, describe it, when's it going to come out, blah, 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 blah. My shirt's namesake, the Spiral Trilogy, got shown off at E3. They had a gameplay demo, about 15 minutes of some, like, 2 or 3 of the major levels. And the fact that, like, you had coming off of the success of the Crash Bandicoot Trilogy that came out last year, and how successful that was, and the fact that they're doing it again with Spyro, the same love, same polish, same, like, gameplay, like, the actual precision about it, like, everything that you loved about the original trilogy is, like, updated and magnified for the PlayStation 4 and also for the Xbox One, so I know it's not exclusive anymore, but just the fact that it's available in that regard is like amazing. And it just blew me away that they were able to take like those mechanics from the original games and bring them up to speed on current gen consoles. Although I'm disappointed that they didn't announce a Switch port, but that's just me. Yeah, and it's funny because like my girlfriend's a big fan of the Spyro games, because I know she's definitely looking forward to the trilogy coming out in September. And
we recently bought the PS2 Spyro game. I think it was like something Dragonfly. I forget.
Enter the Dragonfly, I think it's
Yeah,
called.
yeah. Enter the Dragonfly. And she's been playing that too. So yeah, like so I'm definitely looking forward to that remastered. Yeah, how about you, man?
What Spyro?
Yeah,
I played Spyro like once
oh yeah.
back in the day. I mean, it was like a fun little game. I wouldn't put it over Crash.
Yeah.
I think that's how a lot of people back in those days felt. Like
Mm.
they were more Crash more than Spyro more than anything else. Like they thought that they didn't really like the gliding mechanics. They were more on the ground platforming, where Spyro's kind of a little different. So that's why I see how like Crash took off more.
Yeah.
But just the fact that we got both this generation.
Right, and not to mention everybody had the Crash Bandicoot demo.
Yeah.
I think more people like lived off that one demo from the first Crash, that first level, than actually like buying the game.
Yeah.
That's true. That's very true. I remember like I had both the Crash 3 and Spyro 1. It had the cross demos.
Right.
Play like the demo of the other game, and it was just like awesome. Also, since we're on that, after the day after the Spyro trilogy got announced, like when they first showed off that reveal trailer, there was an update that got pushed into the Crash Bandicoot trilogy, where if you type in the same code that was in the Crash 3 manual, you can watch the Spyro trailer in the trilogy game. Which was awesome. So it's still like a small extra throwback in Crash 3. That was awesome.
Yeah,
And I know Crash 3 is getting a new level for free. Later, I think next month, there's going to be a new level for the Crash trilogy that's coming out.
Yeah. You're a huge platformer, aren't you?
I've been called the platform master. So I play a lot of those games. I played those two games. I've been pushing through a lot on the Jack and Daxter collection because they released that for PS4. I beat the new Ratchet and Clank that came out 2 years ago. I did a little bit of the Sly games. I did a lot of like the Sonic franchise, Mario. So if it's that kind of ilk, I'll play it.
Speaking of which, so I'm gonna be a little shit stirrer right now, and start a little debate amongst you two. Now, I've listened to, like I said, you guys are like on my weekly podcast list. Like I always catch y'all. You always said that your favorite franchise was Sonic.
Yes.
Oh boy.
My friend over here always says that Sonic does not hold up.
I mean,
Okay.
well, I've maintained that, the Sonic the Hedgehog, the original platformers, are three of the most overrated platformers of the 90s. Because, yes, it emphasizes fast gameplay, but when you slow it down, what you have as a result is a very clunky platformer with very awkward controls and even more awkward level design.
What's so awkward about
It's
just
not wrong.
running and jumping? It's literally one button. It's literally like if you had you could play that game with an Atari joystick. Old school.
But I'm saying that if the Sonic games were as intuitive or as perfect a platformer as some gamers claim, then like if you took away the speed even for just a moment, it should still hold up. It shouldn't be exposed for what is essentially a clunky platformer, but with a gloss of speed to cover up its very obvious shortcomings. But that's just me.
So here's the thing about it, and I think what a lot of people are saying about this, and I've seen a lot of videos covering a lot of Sonic and about how the gameplay works. I think the fact, like a lot of Sonic's gameplay in the earlier games is all about that first level, that rush of speed. So you have like that outdoorsy type level that gives you the ability to run through the different levels of terrain that you see in the game. And then I can see your point in terms of like how the platforming works. It's more puzzle platformer in a way than more clunkiness, where it's more like it kind of uses gameplay from a lot of other different platformers more than anything else. But I think what sets it apart from some of the other platforms of the day is you also got to consider what else was out at that time. That you had a lot of other platformers that were cashing in on the Mario and Sonic name at that point. That were really trying to copy off of those mechanics, and they did such a poor job at it in terms of building their own names. And also kind of raised Sonic's name as well. Like that speed mechanic, most of the levels actually, especially if you get towards like Sonic 3 and on, that sense of speed actually rose a lot more. And I think one of my favorite games, actually, outside of the original trilogy, is Sonic Generations and Sonic Unleashed, because they have a little bit of Sonic Unleashed Daytime. Let me clarify that. Let me get it straight. As they have a lot more of those positive aspects of what the Sonic gameplay is. It got more refined as you get to the modern generation of games, PlayStation 2 era, PlayStation 3 era, and so on and so forth. But I will say this, and I actually got a little meme that actually got posted on my Facebook page not too long ago. A lot of people compare the Mario and Sonic 2D era in terms of like how, like as you're saying, Sonic's a lot more clunkier and Mario kind of redefined the 2D era. But I've actually been seeing a lot more arguments start being posted that Sonic Adventure handled the 3D transition better than Mario 64 did. And it kind of goes into things like, it seems like with Mario, you can't really get a lot of speed that you normally would have gotten in the 2D games. A lot of those camera mechanics are a little more clunkier. The block, like the fact that it revolved around the blocking mechanics, obviously, yes, being on a Nintendo 64 does matter in that regard, as everything was a lot blockier. But in terms of a smoother transition, it seemed like Sonic kind of paved the way a little more going into Sonic Adventure than it did with Mario 64. So I kind of see where you're coming from in terms of the 2D games, but I think as you get to the 3D, before Mario started getting all revolutionary with like Sunshine and on, then it becomes a different argument. It's that middle period right there where I think Sonic had the lead.
Okay, quite interesting.
Change your mind? Because you still even play Sonic Mania.
Wait a minute. That's different.
Well, I'll wait for a deep sale on Sonic Mania.
I mean, you couldn't really go wrong because it was a download only.
And it's $20.
$20.
$20.
$20 game.
I'm gonna have to check my finances, but yeah.
No,
It sounds like you gotta talk to your accountant.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I actually heard a lot of great things about Sonic Mania. Actually, I know Carl was a big fan of that game.
Yeah, because I saw Eddie and AJ playing it on their Twitch stream. You guys still Twitch stream, by the way?
Yeah, we still go. We're still. We just started getting to a bigger groove. Like as the end of May passed, we did do a quick stream back on E3 week.
Okay.
We streamed Fortnite on the Switch because that dropped like after the Nintendo press conference dropped. And I know this week we're gonna actually dive into like the first like couple hours of The Last of Us because we really want to play that game now after The Last of Us 2 dropped.
Oh my god.
And that's gonna be another game. Now, it's not gonna be fully in my top 5 yet, just because I know that's still early. Because there's a couple other games that I do want to touch on, and actually, number 3 is a bigger one, Smash. Smash Brothers.
Okay.
Literally, you could have had Nintendo do a 30-minute video of just Smash, and that was their entire E3 press conference, and I still would have came away saying that Nintendo was top 3 overall in terms of all the press conferences. I maintained that Microsoft was number 1. They had the better press conference of all the shows, but Nintendo was 3rd because outside of the fact that they also had other games they announced, like they showed off some of their indie titles. Dragon Ball's coming to Switch. You have the new Mario Party, the Friendship Ruiner that's going to be coming out on Switch. New Fire Emblem, Xenoblade Chronicles DLC. They had a lot of stuff, but then when you have the heavy hitter of Smash Brothers becoming this again another perfect storm. Every game, if you ever loved the N64, Melee, Brawl, or the Wii U version, the fact that every single good part of all 4 of those games is now going to be in one on the Switch, with every single character coming into the game, every single stage ever made coming into the game, all the weapons, all the new mechanics for competitive players. It seems like it's the Smash Brothers game that we're probably going to be playing for at least the next decade. I don't think they need to make another one. After all,
I don't think so. I don't think so either. And I'm not a Smash Brothers guy. I'm sorry, but like my boys are.
Yeah.
Like we'll get together and they're like, "Yo, play Smash Brothers." I'm like, "I don't want to." I'm like, "We just need an extra person play." I'm like, sometimes I'm like, "Fine," and I'll play and I'll just kind of lose on purpose just to like, get it over with, get their boost their egos up. But I can see why like this game would have like stole the show. Like you said, everything from the past Smash Brothers games, just all into one.
Yeah.
And then not to mention there's new characters like Snake is coming and Samus and Metroid's enemy.
Oh, Ridley.
Ridley, yeah.
Yep.
Which I thought it was dope how they introduced them, where they showed Mega Man, Mario, and Samus walking by.
Off the stage. That was hilarious. Like how they played it off. I thought it was really cool how they did the reveal, and the fact that like Ridley takes the big time. Just the fact that it was like a meme that you couldn't put Ridley in the game because apparently he was too large of a character based on the other versions of him that you saw in the other Metroid games, but now you're able to do it. The newest meme that's going around with that is that don't ask Sakurai for anything ever again.
Right.
That's the new meme. So it's like, yep, he gave us everything we wanted. We can shut up now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see, and given Smash Brothers' reputation, I can definitely see Smash Brothers Ultimate like being the highest selling game on the Switch, even more so than Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, even more than Mario Odyssey. Like I think both of those games like were like neck and neck last year in terms of overall sales. Every Switch owner had a Breath of the Wild at some point.
Yeah.
And then most got Mario Odyssey as well. But yes, absolutely. I think once it drops in December, December 7th is the release date, and I think that you have it a week after Black Friday drops, so everybody's gonna be going crazy about it. You have it 2 weeks before Christmas, so you know parents are gonna be all over themselves trying to find that game as well for their kids. And the fact that all you have to do is buy the game, and because of how the Switch is set up, you already have 2 players ready to go. So not many controllers you have to buy outside of maybe the GameCube controller and adapter. And this could be the biggest selling game of the Nintendo Switch for years to come. And they'll sell more Switches on top of that as well.
Maybe, because you know how iffy Nintendo can be with their consoles and stuff, right?
Yeah, in terms of the...
Thankfully, like, I've been seeing stock levels at certain retailers, and they seem to be pretty healthy.
Okay.
So that's at least a good sign, as long as they're predicting the fact that Super Smash Bros. Is going to sell in the millions, like maybe tens of millions.
Yeah.
And they get Switches ready now, then I think it shouldn't be as bad.
Let's hope not, because trust me, my debacle. I mean, even though they're novelty items, though the NES and SNES classics, those are a bitch to get.
Oh, they're still a bitch to get. Like I mean, Super Nintendo classics you can find now.
Yeah.
The NES ones that you can't find anywhere. They're supposed to be re-releasing them at the end of this month.
Yep.
Right.
But I doubt that each store's probably gonna get like one.
I had to get up at 5 a.m. just to go to Best Buy and get a ticket to come back at 8 o'clock when they opened, then to buy it.
That's disgusting.
It was awful.
That's just Black Friday levels of like, that's like TV worthy levels of stuff for a $50 little cart like emulator.
Yeah, with one controller.
Yeah. One 3-foot controller.
Yeah, worth it, but it was like worth it because it's like, yay, I got one, you don't. But like,
yeah,
after a while, like probably after 2 weeks, I'm like, okay, I pretty much done played all 30 games that was in it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much how I feel with any kind of like NES kind of or any kind of compilation like that with old games. I played everything. Like I'll play it for like a little while and then I'm done.
Yeah.
Basically.
Indeed.
But I would say after that, game number 4 will be Spider-Man. Like after that Sony press conference, Spider-Man was so awesome. Like it got me back to Spider-Man 2 areas of like my childhood. I remember playing Spider-Man 2 all the time on my PlayStation 2. Loved it. I wanted to play for hours and hours, just exploring the world, doing the side missions. And it feels like this Spider-Man that's dropping in September is just like that. Like it looks amazing. It looks like you can explore the world. All of New York City is available. All the Sinister Six is being teased as the main villains of the story mode, and it just looks cinematic. And that's what I like about what they're showing off with Spider-Man. It feels like the Marvel game I wanted, I would say. This feels like what Marvel games are supposed to be.
Yeah. I'm honestly, if you don't count like the Marvel versus like Capcom and Marvel versus Street Fighter, I haven't played a Spider-Man game since Maximum Carnage.
Oh man.
Oh, wow, that's a long ways back.
Yeah.
It is. So it's like with this one coming up, especially with it being open world, like knowing me, I'll probably go to like the Brooklyn, like Bed-Stuy or whatever, Queensbridge, just to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think like just the fact that it has like this kind of mechanic where you can like explore the world. It feels like Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
In a Spider-Man game, because you have the Eagle Vision where you can find all the missions, and it just looks good. Like everything about it looks like that Spider-Man game. The last time I played a Marvel game that I really like a Marvel adventure game,
Yeah, okay.
wasn't even like the Marvel Ultimate Alliance games. It was actually a game from the 360, X-Men Origins Wolverine. Was the last time I played like a Marvel game I liked because it played like God of War, and that's why it was awesome.
Yeah, I remember the demo.
People slept on it.
I played the demo. That was a good one.
It was so good. Like I finished it like a couple months ago. Because I beat it when it came out, and now I beat it again just because I wanted to kind of refresh my memory on it after Logan dropped, and it was awesome. I had so much fun with it. It was so good. But now Spider-Man's going to put me in that same boat.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah. Like, I remember playing Spider-Man 2 for the PS2 for, like, a minute. And just to see the gameplay footage for Spider-Man 2, just to see how detailed New York City is, like, from the rooftops, just from, like, the Empire State Building. And just, like, just seeing that 360 view of the city, my jaw just dropped. I'm like, man, like, how can I not get this game when it comes out in September? Yeah.
I thought the same exact thing. I'm trying to think. See, here's my toss-up. So that's 4 games so far, and I'm tossed up between my 5th one because if AJ was here, he'd be screaming to the high heavens. He'd be sitting right here on this couch, basically yelling in my ear, "Bro, you gotta say Kingdom Hearts 3." Kingdom Hearts 3. He's probably calling me right now saying, "Bro, you gotta say Kingdom Hearts 3." I have never played a Kingdom Hearts game.
Me neither.
I can't. So I'm not. Does it look good? Yes. Am I gonna say it? No. But I will say that the other game that did look really good from, where did I see it? Bethesda's press conference was, this is a toss-up, Fallout 76.
I knew it.
Fallout 76. I was going to say Rage 2 because it looked like a post-apocalyptic Doom, even though Doom is basically Apocalypse, but it felt like a different type of like the Doom engine, but in like a Mad Max style storyline.
Yeah.
So that's probably like, later down the list. But definitely Fallout 76 because I played a lot of the Fallout games before. I played 3, I played 4, a little bit of New Vegas here and there, but I never really felt invested in the world at all. There wasn't anything there that gripped me to play Fallout. But the fact that you have a co-op type of Fallout experience with a different type of storytelling is, I think, what's going to probably get me over the hump to actually like Fallout games.
Yeah.
I haven't really liked it before.
Yeah, I never played one either, but it seems like with this one, it's like they really like put their foot into this one. Like they chose a random location like West Virginia, and then they explored like folklore and like all different aspects of West Virginia.
Yeah.
It just put it in the year 2076 that they're doing it in. Yeah, they said tricentennial.
Yeah.
So, 2076. So then, they just put in like so much factors. My only complaint is the whole nuclear war setup.
Yeah.
That's gonna be trolling and a half.
Yeah, like
I think that will be like the game's downfall because, like, of course you're gonna get kids playing it who don't know how to act right. They make you mad. You make them mad. They'll nuke your whole town up. Pretty much all of West Virginia is gonna be
destroyed.
Yeah.
There have been concerns about like trolls like using nukes or like storming nuclear bases and hitting the button, like just to literally rain on other gamers' parades. Yeah, unless Bethesda has some mechanisms in place to curb that, then I can see like a shitstorm of complaints as a result.
I mean, I imagine that they learned from the Elder Scrolls Online to have some kind of they have dedicated servers planned for it, I'm pretty sure. So I imagine that they're going to do something like dedicated servers, possibly private servers as well. So if you only want to play with your friends, like if you have like maybe like a group of 6 or so, and you want to do the game that way, then yes, it's possible, I imagine. That's probably how they're going to do it. They did say that the game is fully playable solo, so you can play as a single player experience like you normally would. So that at least helps that out a little more in terms of how what they're kind of narrowing down to. It can be as big as 64 players in a server, or it can be as small as just you by yourself. So I imagine that at least they have the idea of putting like blockades in place to say, we're not going to have trolls in mind, or if you do have a troll that's going to try and go crazy, you can probably have everybody else swarm in against them, and that dude's going to get wrecked and kicked out of the server. So I imagine that this is probably they have the Elder Scrolls Online mechanics in mind, and put into Fallout 76, so that way they can progress with that going forward.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, so Fallout 76 is your number 5, you
I
say?
would say that's probably gonna be my number 5. Yeah.
Okay.
Man,
Definitely.
set up top 5s and all that. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
Let me see. I'll probably say my number 1 would probably be Last of Us 2.
Yeah.
Like I just started the first one, and like I'm still in the beginning, but I can already see why that game is considered like a classic.
Yeah.
So with this one coming up now, we know me getting a little tease of it. Okay, Ellie lives. So I'm like,
Very much.
yeah. So I'm like, all right, like how did they get to this point?
Yeah.
From where I'm at to what they just showed us. How did they get to this point? Made me want to play the game even more. So then I got that one. Ghost of Tsushima looks really good.
Yes, it
I
does.
think there's a lot of potential in Ghost of Tsushima if they do the gameplay right.
Mm-hmm.
I think, but I know it's done by Sucker Punch. They've done Infamous and Sly Cooper, so I know with time it'll be done right.
Yeah.
I'm kind of just like going off my. Jesus. Those are like okay, Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 2, definitely. Spider-Man. And simply because it takes my money every year, Madden.
Madden 2019.
Yeah, I gotta see. They're gonna continue with the long shot storyline, so I gotta see where that goes to.
Yeah.
I'm glad that the sports games are at least trying to do something a little different. I know that started last year with FIFA and Madden. They did the story mode.
Yeah.
Kind of like, single player campaign. So as long as they make that good, it doesn't bother me one bit or one way or the other. I'm not really a sports player for the most part, unless somebody else has it over there. If I go to a friend's house, I'll play it.
Yeah.
But at least it's good that they're trying to keep that investment going. Although I will say this much: EA's press conference this year was one of the worst things I've ever seen in my entire life.
I think
It was awful. It was so bad. Like they didn't really talk about. They talked, but I didn't learn anything. I think just the fact that you had the casual drop of the new Star Wars game that was coming out. You had the casualness of the FIFA. You had you had the Command and Conquer being thrown into the ground with that 10 minutes of the mobile game. And I wanted to touch on this. I think that my least favorite game that had some form of gameplay at E3, either on a stage show or whatever it be, Anthem. I have no interest in Anthem.
really, really, I was talking. Wait, go ahead.
Because here's my thing about Anthem. I don't want to play Destiny again. Like, I don't want to play Destiny. And every time I see Anthem on my TV screen, I keep seeing Destiny. And I think that's the problem with how they're marketing Anthem. They're marketing it as like a co-op experience, exploring worlds, beating up enemies. It feels like it's a combination of the worst parts of Borderlands, Destiny, and a little bit of Monster Hunter, like Monster Hunter World specifically, but thrown into one game. And you're flying around like Iron Man, of course, so that's another thing. Yeah. But it just doesn't feel like it's clicking at me, and I still don't know what the storyline is. I still don't know what my beginning is and what my eventual end goal is going to be. And we're approaching a February release date. I know more about the Division that just got announced this weekend. I know more about that than I do about like Anthem that's been talked about for the last 2 years.
You really think we're getting a little too much of the space age first person shooters? Like, now they just announced Halo. We got Anthem, Destiny, the Call of Duty games are heading in that direction. You think we're getting just a bit of like a overflow of space age first person shooters?
Well, thankfully, a lot of franchises are actually scaling that back. Like Battlefield is still staying within the World War II or like the historical age.
Yeah.
And then you have games like Rage and Doom that are like counterbalanced. You have games like Fallout that are more futuristic but still grounded in kind of some sort of reality. And then you have Sony's big lineup of like The Last of Us, Ghost of Tsushima, and then you have like Neo, Resident Evil, and then those kind of games. I know Halo and Gears are still more like that spacey, futuristic kind of thing, but I think, thankfully, we're now approaching like a newer generation of games that are releasing going into 2019, where I think that's starting to get toned down.
Okay.
So I think we're starting to see like that kind of we're taking a little bit of breath from that. So
Okay.
that's a good thing.
Yeah.
All right. And another game too. I guess you can call it probably neck and neck with number 5 was The Quiet Man.
That
Oh,
threw me
yeah.
off that was Square Enix. Yeah, that
Yeah.
threw me off. It was such a surprising game that they just showed off. Like they transitioned it from real life to the crazy looking realistic CG.
Yeah.
And then back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's something like that was very interesting to me. Also, can we get a date for Death Stranded? We are literally we're getting cock teased ridiculously for the past 2 years.
Yeah.
But I was already sold, which is it was bad. I'm by the time I saw a naked Norman Reedus, I'm yeah, I'm buying this game. But and they kept showing more, which made me want to buy the game even more. But at this point, I'm okay, we need something. Show me something. Give me a date. Let's is it done? What is it? What are we getting?
And that's what I'm worried about. And I talked about this with another one of my friends. With the Comics Pals, we're probably at a point where it seems like Kojima is just going to keep doing whatever he wants to do. But I think we're worried that he's just going to keep working and working and working, and Sony's going to be like, okay, where's the game? Are you going to show it off to us?
Mm-hmm.
And then he's just like, no, don't worry, I got it. But I'm just worried that we're not going to get a game out of it.
Yeah.
And seeing trailers with long cinematic trailers that feel like actual movies at this point, based on how long they are, without any gameplay.
Right.
Don't give me anything that walking scene where you just see people walking around backpacks. That's gameplay. No, I don't. It just seemed too specific for that to be the gameplay or the way to reveal that as gameplay, because then it looks boring. I don't want that to be the reveal of it. But I just hope we just don't get trolled by Kojima. That we're just gonna keep getting small bits and pieces here and there, and then the game drops in 2023.
Yeah, exactly. That's 2 years. We've gotten 2 years already. 2 years worth of trailers already between E3s and PlayStation experiences. We need we need something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know when we're gonna get it.
Yeah, and plus, to me, it just seems like Hideo Kojima just wants to be a film director so badly that for some reason he just either doesn't have the connections, even though he's working with Guillermo del Toro. So I figure it's at this point it's and to your point, we've seen walking, but I'm pretty I hope that there's more to the gameplay than just walking across really gorgeous looking fields. If that's the case, then you know what? Then Kojima might as well have made an experimental film with Guillermo del Toro, and we'd have been okay,
I just hope we're not trolled to the point where this is that experimental film.
Yeah.
That's what I'm concerned about. Just don't make this the experimental film. Make this the game. Make this a game. Make this how you were trying to do with Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. Make it how terrifying it was when you were about to do Silent Hills, when that PT teaser dropped.
Yeah.
You were doing a horror game and it was going to be Silent Hills. Where's that? I remember when PT dropped and it was the talk of gaming.
Yeah.
Yep.
Crazy ass horror game. It was so scary. It was so claustrophobic, and it was a teaser. There was gonna be a new Silent Hill game with Norman Reedus, and it was everybody was so hyped for it. And then literally Konami and Kojima parted ways, and it was just so awful. And then you hear Sony picked up Kojima, and then they're gonna try and carry on his vision with Death Stranding, and then that just went nowhere. Or it's going nowhere right now, I should say. So I don't know what's gonna happen next.
Yeah. So hopefully the game will come out within the next year or so, because I don't want it to approach Duke Nukem Forever territory, but by the time it comes out on store shelves 10, 15 years later, it's just meh at best.
Or The Last Guardian.
Or The Last Guardian.
Yeah, The Last Guardian.
That's a better example. I mean, Last Guardian was fine. It worked. It was a game, so I'm not going to complain about that part. But yeah, definitely I don't want it to be a Duke Nukem scenario.
Yeah.
That would be the worst thing that could happen to Kojima's legacy, and then just Sony as a company. They threw all this money and backing into Kojima, and you got no return investment.
Yeah.
That would be the worst part.
Oh, absolutely. But yeah, speaking of the total opposite of developers or game directors who don't deliver, the total opposite of that is CD Projekt Red. And the game that I'm absolutely looking forward to the most, now that I think about it more and more, is Cyberpunk 2077. like we've all seen the trailer for it,
Yeah.
and I've seen YouTube videos of other YouTube game reviewers talking about the gameplay because obviously they can't reveal any gameplay footage at this time. But from what I hear about it, it sounds like it just might be even better than The Witcher 3, which is considerable. Yeah.
It's crazy to think about it. Like Cyberpunk 2077, the trailer dropped. It looked really cool. It ended the Microsoft press conference with a bang. So that was a awesome way to end the press conference with that trailer. And then you hear about the gameplay that developers or other media were able to play, about 45 minutes or so of gameplay behind closed doors, and you hear that it's like this grandiose first-person game. It's not a shooter per se, but it has shooting mechanics, but it's primarily an RPG, just like in the scale of The Witcher and what they were able to do with The Witcher. And you hear about the awesomeness of like the open world and how it works in this kind of like cybernetics environment. With the modification, there's like a modification system where you can customize your player character in different ways, and that's where the RPG mechanics come in. So it's kind of a mix of like The Witcher, and then it gave me like a Deus Ex Human Revolution vibe.
Yep, absolutely.
So, and I think it's gonna be better than both of those games for sure. Because I know like CD Projekt Red learned so much from The Witcher and what they were able to do with that game, and now they're taking in a first-person mechanic, so it makes things a lot more different. And I'm really really hyped for Cyberpunk, and I think that like CD Projekt Red is probably one of those developers that you look at and you hear that, hey, we might take a long time for this game, but you trust them because you know that The Witcher 3 was like an overarching success. And the 2 DLC expansions, you didn't care that you paid money for them. They were good. You got like 40 hours worth of content out of their DLC. And that's unheard of in terms of DLC and how it functions right now, because you hear so much about like microtransactions and like story mode campaigns that are like an hour long. And you had Blood and Wine from The Witcher 3 that was like 40 hours, 50 hours, because it was like a bigger world than the original world. And I know CD Projekt Red, even if they decide to do DLC in the future, is going to do it right. And just the world itself, to start with, is going to be done right too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So now, did you? I want to say, what was this? Wednesday, Thursday? The E3 main event. Now we're all wrestling fans here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you watch the New Day versus the Elite?
Oh yeah.
So I was at work when it happened, but I did get clips of it. My wife was messaging me as it was happening, and just all the shade that was being thrown by Kenny Omega.
Good shade too.
Oh yeah.
Like, he was throwing shade at Big E, Xavier Woods, like literally, just the fact that you had these two worlds of like the WWE's like big money like draw. Let me rephrase that: big merchandise draw.
Right.
And then you have like the hype of New Japan with like of course the built-in cult following of the Young Bucks, and then Kenny Omega who just won the IWGP Championship.
Yep.
So it's like it was just built up to this big like 3-on-3 battle in Street Fighter, and just the fact that like it got so much traction, so much hype on like all like Twitch, on YouTube, Street Fighter's channels blowing up, and then it ends with them saying, "Look, we want to change the world in terms of like entertainment and how we do things." And you just think that like who knows, maybe the crossover is coming. Like there could be something more than just playing video games.
Yeah, Triple H
got people in our world, like the wrestling world, excited. Excited.
Yeah, because I saw like I just happened to be on the bus and I got the alert. And I don't even know. I think I was like listening to a podcast. So I'm completely cut it off, and I just watched it. I was literally on my phone, turned on the Do Not Disturb, and I made sure I watched that live.
Yeah.
Like, and it was something that I would want to do with like other podcasts. I would do that with you guys. I would do that with with other podcasts that I've been wanting to work with too. Like something like that could like work big time.
Yeah. And you were going to say this too, but Triple H has expressed an interest in doing crossover work with New Japan, Ring of Honor, and other organizations as well.
Well, that's because he sees the money now. Now that he sees what All In is doing, and
That Ring of Honor might do Madison Square Garden now.
Yeah.
Like just the fact that MSG is not like Madison Square Garden is not just a WWE venue anymore. I think it's going to be huge. And Triple H he has foresight. Like, he's already looking ahead. Like, what can we do? I mean, think about it. Takeover, last night's Takeover. I didn't see it yet, so I didn't see Takeover Chicago. But it was like one of the highest reviewed shows this calendar year for any WWE program. Raw, SmackDown, any of the big 4 pay-per-views like WrestleMania, Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
Every single person is talking about Takeover Chicago. Like, it's like the greatest thing that's happened this entire year. So, and that's all Triple H. So the fact that he sees, like, look, I see where the industry's going right now. It's better to make allies than enemies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's how he sees it. Because he's done the tournament expansion with the cruiserweights. He had the Mae Young Classic, the UK tournament that he's promoting right now.
Mm-hmm.
So he sees where it's going, and it's better to bring in more talent than to tell him no.
Yeah. So speaking of, what is your opinion about the WWE 2K games?
I like simulation games. I like WWE games, but I think the fact that if you start playing a WWE game like you do a Madden game, then it kind of gets a little too convoluted for me. I think the last time I played a WWE game heavy, like I played it, I had memory cards full of characters, was the original SmackDown versus Raw. I think was the last time I got really, really heavy into those games. Maybe SmackDown versus Raw 6.
Yeah.
Was like
I think I would say that
one for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember, like, me and my friends would have memory cards full of superstars, just playing games. I did it with like with WrestleMania 2000. Also, the N64 is like my golden age of playing wrestling video games with Revenge, WrestleMania 2000, and No Mercy.
Mm-hmm.
No Mercy. I still think No Mercy still probably voted as the greatest wrestling game of all time.
Yeah, everybody says that, which is wild.
Yeah, and plus, like on YouTube, you can find so many mods of No Mercy, like uploading like current day rosters and whatnot. And some people
still going strong.
Yeah.
Still, it's wild.
Absolutely.
The 2K, the 2 games are good visually. I have no problems with 2K games. I just can't get into them like fully.
Yeah.
They're like more like a spectator sport for me. Like, if I see somebody playing it, I'll definitely watch it. I'll watch streamers play it for sure too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Definitely.
And also going back to when we were mentioning Kenny Omega on the WWE Network, apparently they've posted right on the front page under Hidden Gems. You can watch a developmental match of Kenny Omega. It
wasn't the match. It's just that one interview, promo that he cut.
Promo. Okay, I got
you. They're trying to they're trying to cash in on, hey, we had Kenny Omega before, so here's proof. And that was it.
Yeah, even though like, to me, like, Kenny Omega is, I think he's too good for WWE. Like, as far as how they handle their main roster talent, like he's definitely too big for NXT. Although he'd obviously do fine work there, but I'm thinking about how WWE nerfed to a severe degree Shinsuke Nakamura on the main roster, and if Vince McMahon can take a short thing like AJ versus Nakamura and make it a lackluster feud in which I don't care about at all, that takes some miraculous doing. And so I don't want to see Kenny Omega anywhere near the WWE machine, at least as long as Vince McMahon is in charge.
And I think that's where we're at right now with the WWE. As long as Vince McMahon's in charge, like, you put that phrase in quotes, and that's kind of the state of the company right now. Because you figure that you have the AJ Nakamura feud that's going nowhere. You have, Roman Reigns, like, still being what for a while was positioned as a top guy before they just backpedal and said, screw it, we're just gonna give Brock Lesnar the CM Punk record, and that kind of set people's irked them a lot as well.
Yeah.
But that's the state of the company. That's the state with Raw. That's the state with mostly Monday Night Raw. Like, outside of the AJ feud, I've always said that I always like SmackDown as a better show right now because they have a better idea of their talent. Like, I like Samoa Joe being on SmackDown. I like kind of like the interactions between the different superstars on SmackDown. I like the women's roster better. I like 205 Live better. I know it's not a part of SmackDown, but technically, because it's after it, they're not tied to Monday Night Raw anymore. So I consider them now a part of SmackDown, if you will. So I like Tuesday nights more than I do Monday nights. Monday nights just don't cut it for me. But the only person that does is Seth Rollins, because he's the only person they're treating right out of that whole entire Raw roster is Seth Rollins.
Oh yeah.
So, but I'm wondering what would, like, if Triple H does seize control, which God knows how long that's gonna take. Like, what will the company look like? like, will it look like NXT where you have guys like Velveteen Dream, Undisputed Era, Aleister Black as like your top guys? Like, how do you put that on the main roster? And like, I know Triple H is trying to do it, but I'm wondering how long it'll take before Vince McMahon sees that that's where the money is now.
Yeah.
All right. Now back to the video game front. Microsoft they just announced that they're gonna have Battletoads coming back. Now I'm not sure if that's gonna be just an Xbox exclusive or a third party. You think like, okay, now that we're getting all these, remakes and all this nostalgia from it, do you really think that we're just relying too much on nostalgia this day and age?
Xbox is.
Yeah.
Here's why I say that. So you figure that, they announced Battletoads, which is a Rare property. Rare owns that project, and it kind of makes me a little upset that they announced Battletoads, but there was rumors that they were going to announce a new Perfect Dark and didn't, because I want to see more Perfect Dark, but that's just me.
Yeah.
And then you also saw that they announced new Halo, new Gears. They're relying a lot on their Xbox, those core Xbox franchises, like whatever Rare has, and then Halo and Gears. So I think it's more them that's really holding on to it. Like, Nintendo knows their bread and butter. That's their franchises have always been built from the ground up, so that's theirs. But they've always evolved. Like, Breath of the Wild evolved to an open world game.
Right.
Mario evolved into a collectathon mission type game with Mario Odyssey. Smash is evolving to be, because they now embrace the competitive scene instead of just saying, here's a fun game that everybody can play. No, now here's a game that hardcore people can play and that tournaments can go crazy with. So I think they're evolving. Sony's evolving to be more of a cinematic type of gameplay with The Last of Us, with Spider-Man, with Ghost. But I think it's now Microsoft that, although they're starting to evolve a little more with their business practices, they're still the third place company in this generation, but they're still stuck in the past. Because you have the Halo Infinite Gears announcements that I feel like nobody cared about. Like, nobody really cared that a new Halo and a new Gears game were coming out. It just came to be like, okay, sure.
Yeah, I think
most of their games revolved around being on PC and Xbox, where it's kind of like, okay, well, I mean, what about games that are only going to be on Xbox that people who enjoy consoles who don't want PC to play on? Like, do you want me to not buy a console? And they're like, I guess, but that's just how I feel that Microsoft is right now. It's Microsoft that's still kind of stuck in the past for the most part, because they're relying on old franchises and backwards compatibility. So that's kind of where that falls right now.
Yeah. And another thing too, you said that you felt that Microsoft had the best press conference.
I thought they had the best presentation. But then now you look back on it with that question in mind, it's kind of like, yeah, they presented a lot of games, but then you realize, wait a minute, not a lot of them are Xbox games.
Exclusives. Yeah. They have, 15 exclusives? Like, they could have just...
Yeah, they said there were 15 exclusives, which, of course, a couple of them were, like, Crackdown 3. You had games like Halo Infinite, Gears, Ori. Some of their indie games are exclusive as well. And then the Battletoads, of course, is the big announcement as well. But I'm curious to see where Microsoft goes from here. Like, are they going to start building new IPs? Like, that's where they kind of need to go. I turned on my Xbox after the E3 press conference because I wanted to find something to play on it, and I got stuck with either playing PUBG, which I don't care about anymore because I play Fortnite now, or playing my backwards games. Like, I played Cuphead for a little bit, but that got really hard. Then I started playing Star Wars Republic Commando because it's an OG Xbox game that's now playable on Xbox One.
Right.
So I'm wondering what's next, like where they're gonna go from here.
I just had it. Oh, we didn't even mentioned Devil May Cry 5.
Oh yeah.
Another game that's made from the Resident Evil engine too.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be really stylistic, but I want to see it in game, like actual engine gameplay before I make a decision on that. But cinematically, it looked like a wild time, and especially after playing Bayonetta 2 recently. Now I'm gonna play that.
Yeah. And did you really think that Nero was being done by Cody Rhodes?
No. That would. I've heard the petition to kind of have Cody Rhodes cosplay as Nero at the next convention. I want to see it now.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
See him cosplay, like do it.
Yeah, I mean he did tweet about it and just like gave like a thumbs up to it because on our page I saw it. I'm like, oh my god, Cody Rhodes is gonna be Devil May Cry 5. I just took the shot. And I'm saying Cody Rhodes is in the game, da, da, da. But of course, at that time, I didn't watch the Microsoft yet. Had to wait because I took a day off of work this week because I got a spider bite. Sucks.
Yeah,
But
I heard you mentioning that too.
Yeah.
Last podcast.
yeah, so yeah, it is. But I'm sitting there like I really should have just watched the Microsoft right before I posted that.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It was worth watching. I thought it was really cool, for sure.
Yeah, but I think Microsoft cheats because they while everybody shows their exclusive content. Microsoft always shows like the third party content. Like if you remember last year, they were the ones that showed Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, Sony didn't. Nobody else did, but they did.
Yep.
Right.
But it turned out to be like a third party game, and they have a tendency to do that. Like I wrote down every single game, and they have the longest list. Like every single conference, they had the longest list because they're showing third parties.
Yeah.
But I think what also helped with that regard, though, is that you figure that Nintendo's always going to be specific. They know what they want to do. They're not budging. So that's Nintendo's way. And I think Sony played it off a little differently because normally Sony shows off a bunch of games, either exclusive or they kind of like timed exclusive, specific to them. But because they wanted to focus on Ghost, Spider-Man, Death Stranding, and Last of Us, a lot of those games didn't really talk about a lot of other games outside of Resident Evil and Neo 2.
Right.
So Microsoft was able to scoop up those big-time announcements to try to give themselves a bigger leg up on perception about their video game library. That hey, you should play these experiences on a Microsoft console, not only on a Microsoft console. So I think that's why they had the more impressive showing because they were trying to say play our games on our system.
Right.
Because you're not going to see these experiences being shown off by Sony because they're not going to bother with it. Or Nintendo because they're not going to bother with it because they know what they want to do. Come play on Xbox. They're still trying to be that hip company that they were in the 360 era. The 360 era, they were dominant.
Right.
Nobody could touch that Xbox 360. PS3 was dead before you can even say hi. And then the Wii and the Wii U were nothing but for grandmas and 6-year-olds. Nobody cared. I mean, most of them started playing Xbox 360 after that.
Yeah.
But this generation now, people are starting to see okay, we see where the gaming industry is going to go, and they started branching off to PS4 and Switch, where Xbox is kind of still sitting in the dust. So that's why they're trying to scoop up all these announcements.
Right. Right. And then there was another one. This was actually from Ubisoft. Now, they have a history of giving great presentations, but their games always kind of come up short. And I actually have a good feeling about this one, but then I kind of said the same thing about Watch Dogs 2, was the Skull and Bones trailer. That actually looked very interesting.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
I think that just the fact that you have a game that has that, you're controlling all the parts of a naval ship, and all the things about pirate combat and how that works on the sea. So I think that could be a good game. I just don't want it to seem like that Skull and Bones is basically most people go into it that, again, casual people watch E3. I don't want them to think, wait, isn't that just the naval combat from Black Flag? I don't want that to be the case.
Right.
Yeah.
So far it looked good. It did look good. I will say that much. I hope the best for how that happens or how that goes for them going forward.
Yeah.
But how is Fortnite too? Because my cousin, he actually made me download it. Because he lives in Mass. We're here in Rhode Island. So he made me download it. I still haven't even highlighted it to even play it. Is the game really worth the hype? It's a free game. I can see why a lot of kids are playing it because,
I wouldn't say it's worth. I would say it's very addictive to get into. I think it's the fact that it's very easy. It's the most simplistic of third-person shooters. There's no frills about it. I mean, it has a build mechanic, so it gives it a little bit of complexity where you can mine for weapons, or not mine for weapons, mine for material that you can use to build forts, or you can build doors or other things to prevent people from coming in or prevent damage. So it has that going for it, and I think that because it's so basic, I think that's where a lot of the hype comes into play. A lot of these battle royale games are really popular because of that mechanic. It's literally just you drop down, you just find something, you pick it up. If it's powerful, you pick that up instead. So stop being a scavenger as well. It's kind of like when the Hunger Games was huge, when that franchise really got big, like with forget what the last Catching Fire, like the second movie, was one of the biggest movies for a while in theaters. This is what Fortnite feels like. It feels like the hype of Catching Fire, but in video game form, just because of how it plays. And they're always supporting it with content. You don't have to buy anything, but it's suggested that you do. So there's ways for them to make money, but you don't have to drop a dime on it at all.
Yeah, right. Now, do you think like the whole battle royale concept will like get played out? Because we're noticing like a lot of other franchises and games are starting to pick that up as well.
Yep.
Give it a year, because you figure H1Z1, which was a popular PC game, they added one that came out on PS4.
Right.
Battlefield and Call of Duty are now jumping on the train and saying, "Hey, we're big publishers. We're going to put one out."
Excuse me.
You have an indie game, I think, called the Darwin Project. It's kind of similar as well in that regard. So I think that if you see more and more of these games come out, that trend's going to die really fast. Because back in the beginning of the 360 era, we had the first-person shooter super boom, or the military first-person shooter boom.
Yeah.
So that came out, and then I think give it a year, and we'll see where that goes. Because I think that if you put out too many options, nobody's going to play any of them, and they're just going to stick with the easiest game to play, and the rest of the games are just going to die out.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be that easy.
Yeah.
Right.
And
So,
anything else on your end?
go ahead.
Oh.
Okay.
Also, with some other games, how do you feel about the Soulsborne genre, like Dark Souls, Bloodborne, and other developers coming out with their own Souls-esque games? Because I see like Neo was pretty popular when it came out last year. Part 2 is coming out soon, and I see Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice, which is part of Microsoft's conference. That's a game I'm really looking forward to a lot.
Yeah.
Like, have you played any of those Souls games at all, or Bloodborne?
Not a lot of them. At least my personal experience hasn't been with a lot of those Souls-ish difficulty type games. I think that has a better chance of staying, just because people love a challenge, no matter what genre we're talking about, especially when it deals with like achievements or trophies. People love challenges, and also the fact that you have a unique setting like feudal Japan, with like Neo, or like an alternate feudal Japan with Neo, or actual feudal Japan with Shadows Die Twice. I think that the fact that you have the ability to do a different type of mechanic with those Souls-ish kind of games, that might give it a little more staying power, just because the difficulty itself matters more for the game than anything else.
Yeah.
So I think the setting is changing the setting up a little bit will probably help that out more, and it's not going to get stale, because if you change the setting, you change how the gameplay works. Because you had Dark Souls, which is more like medieval-ish. You had Bloodborne, which is more like in the plague in Eastern Europe, and then you have these games which are more in Japan style. So they have a better way of kind of like navigating different time periods and different fighting styles.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's another Souls style game that's coming out too, which wasn't featured in E3, but it's made by Capcom. It's called Code Vein.
Yes, that was another one that it didn't get a conference shine, but it is coming out.
Yep.
In July or August, it comes out soon. That's basically in the same vein. Go figure. But yeah, that's another one as well, and I think that's also alternate because it's a post-apocalypse with vampires.
Yep.
So I think that also is going to be a lot different as well. So another different way to kind of evolve that genre.
Oh yeah.
Now, shout outs to AJ, but with all the hype that he's been talking about with Kingdom Hearts 3, do you actually plan on buying it, knowing that you got AJ in your ear telling you about?
I will try to play it, yes, but I think that like those kind of games I don't play a lot. Like I'm not an RPG heavy type person. Yes, but I think me personally I won't. But I can see how the hype is going to drive sales more than the gameplay itself. I think Kingdom Hearts is definitely evolving to be an easier hack and slash than the previous games. Because I played a little bit of Kingdom Hearts 1. It was hard to get into the mechanic of switching on the fly between like hack and slashing and then casting spells with Goofy and Donald. So that got a little tougher as I got along, went on with the game. And I think they're trying to streamline it a lot more with Kingdom Hearts 3. But I think the hype is going to sell it more than the game itself.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And also like with the first Kingdom Hearts, which is the only Kingdom Hearts game that I completed. Like that's a nice standalone story in and of itself. I played part 2, which was way too easy, so like the challenge got really repetitive, and also the whole storyline of the series is so unnecessarily convoluted that like you have to play the side games in addition to the main ones to get the entire complete experience. Like there was a Game Boy Advance game which came out in between 1 and 2, and I think there was a couple other spin-offs on the DS as well, if I'm not mistaken. So with part 3 I believe expects fans of the series to have been caught up with all the lore, and so that alone for me is a barrier of entry. Never mind the fact that the game's been, been announced more or less or promoted since I was in college, like 10 years ago. So like that's a game that I put on underneath like the Last Guardian / Duke Nukem Forever files, where like if it comes out, cool, but I have no wherewithal to even get into it.
Maybe even for Kingdom Hearts fans, maybe the barrier of entry might be a little tougher, especially if you don't know the story that much. It gets a little trickier when you have to figure that there's over 10 different side story games. Yes, they try to make it a lot easier by making compilations. Kingdom Hearts did put out PS4 compilations of 1 and 2 with all the side stories, and I think you can play those games in order, so that kind of helps tell you the story, and not removing some of the other games that don't matter. But I have to look that up, of course. And then they had the one prologue game that was like 2.8 prologue. It's a weird name. And then 3. So yes, it gets a little tougher for those who have not played the games before, because then you're expected to sink your teeth into over 300 hours of other RPG-ish games, especially if you're not a fan of RPG-type games, but you want to play this unique Disney-type story with some Final Fantasy elements, but sometimes that make it a little harder for you if A, you don't know how to play Final Fantasy, B, if you don't want to get caught up with anything that's happened beforehand. It gets a lot harder.
Yeah, because it took you a while to play. It took you a while to finish 15, right?
Yeah, 15 took me about a little over a month. Final Fantasy 15.
And like the last RPG I played was the first Parasite Eve.
Wow.
And I rage quit.
That's high.
I like just ran out of everything, and I was just like stuck, and I was just like, you know what? I'm done. No.
That sounds like me when I tried to play hard mode in Dead Space. I just quit. I was like, nope. They made all the collected materials a lot shorter. Nope. Not even doing it anymore.
I wouldn't even touch it in 4 in February.
Wow.
Speaking of which, did you finish 4 in February?
No, I know I didn't finish 4 in February. I beat Jack. So Jack and Daxter was the one game out of the 4 that I did beat, but the other games just kind of fell behind. So like I think Sly 3 was the one I fell behind on, and then it just kind of devolved from there, because the prospect of just beating them was just a lot harder. And I think it's just time management. Just a full-time job, everything else, everything with the Party Nerds is just trying to get better time management for something like that.
Yeah, that is true. See, I kind of developed something like I developed a secret to that.
Yeah.
You just beat easy games. There's no loophole that said they had to be like so and so.
No, that is true. They just had to be 4 games. Period.
4 games. So I'm like, all right. That's why I was like last year I actually beat 5 in February. I just beat like the Game of Thrones, Telltale, and then just went through. I just breezed through Uncharted. Yeah. This one, my girl always has like, she needs my attention all the time, so it's like it was kind of hard to get that in, but I literally this year I did it with like 2 hours to spare in February.
I remember you posted that too. It was really like you were right up on it.
Right there.
Man.
I still plan on doing it.
Yeah, if it comes up, I'll do it. I'll put the time in again.
There you go.
I'll put my name in the hat.
Tag me.
Yeah, I will.
And yeah, any last game or games that you're looking forward to that you haven't mentioned?
Just trying to think if there's anything else from big conferences. I mean,
or not just from E3, like in general.
I will say this much: the last big game that I remember from E3, I guess I'll do this last game, Beyond Good and Evil 2. It's probably the last game that I can remember touching on, because that was a very interesting trailer.
It was.
We knew it was a prequel story. Most of us kind of know the story of Beyond Good and Evil and the original gameplay and how everything worked out. But just to see like that they're still building upon this world, and there was gameplay. It was pre-alpha, but it was gameplay either way. Like we were able to see the flight mechanics and how you're able to navigate throughout the city, and the fact that you can do artwork for the game as well that can be uploaded and used throughout the game world, whether on the buildings or on the spaceships. Like they're going to have a what they call the Space Monkey program, where you can create artwork that can be used in the game, and it's actually done by Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Like he's the one who founded the company that's partnering with Ubisoft for this.
Right.
So the fact that independent artists have a chance to kind of have their artwork, some kind of artwork displayed for the game, there could be a lot of stuff that could go on with Beyond Good and Evil 2 going forward, especially if we're doing artwork as a shareable platform for these types of games.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Anything else?
Anything else? Just one real quick rundown. Since as you know, tonight is Money in the Bank. Do you have any predictions for who's going to take the briefcases? And also, how hard will the crowd boo the Roman Reigns Jinder Mahal match?
So put it like this: at this point, what WWE should do is they should start the pay-per-view with that match, get it out of the way.
Yeah.
Normally, with Money in the Bank pay-per-views, you usually will start with one of the two ladder matches. Start with Roman Reigns Jinder Mahal, get it out the way because you know your crowd doesn't care about it. Put it in the middle of the show, they will drown themselves out, and then they won't care about the rest of the card. Otherwise, in terms of the ladder matches, I went with Dark Horse predictions just because one of the things that I noticed about the women's Money in the Bank ladder match is the only bad person, like the only heel in that match, is Alexa Bliss. She's not winning the briefcase.
No.
I think it's either going to be Natalya or Sasha that's going to win the briefcase from Raw, because I don't think SmackDown needs it right now. But I will say the winner of the Money in the Bank match from the men's side will be from SmackDown, because nobody from Raw is winning it, because what's the point? Brock has the title. It doesn't matter. Unless you're future planning for if Brock loses it. But that's a can of worms to touch on another day. But if I had to pick someone from SmackDown to win the briefcase, I would probably pick Samoa Joe. Like he's the person who's been on a roll since he came back from his injury, cutting great promos. Like he's on a roll with everybody on SmackDown. So I think he's gonna win the SmackDown He's gonna win the briefcase, bring it to SmackDown.
Yeah.
I'm going for Rusev on this one.
Ooh, that's a hot pick too.
Yeah. Rusev would make so much sense.
Like he's over like crazy. Like it'll be, he's a heel and he'll probably get like the biggest pop if he wins it.
Yeah.
I think there's so much more that they could do with the New Day, whereas like they'll put if they put, odds are they'll probably put Big E in there.
Yeah.
But like there's still so much more that they can do with them before they break them up. Like I would love to see the New Day go against Sanity, which hasn't like debuted on SmackDown yet.
Yeah. No, they haven't been called up yet. So I'm wondering if maybe that'll be the feud that'll end the New Day. Maybe they could do it that way.
Yeah.
Like have the craziness of Sanity kind of push them off and split them up. I would love to see. Honestly, I would love to see Xavier Woods get to shine in the ladder match because you know Kofi's done them all. He's done all the Money in the Banks before, so he doesn't need it. And I think I think Big E, he's already had a singles push. He's had an IC title reign, so he's had a little bit of a singles push on his own before. But Xavier Woods hasn't had a big shine yet, outside of like being in the tag team, doing all these tag team big spots like ladder matches, Hell in a Cell last year with the Usos. But I think him by himself, I think they should give him, outside of the success, because of the success of Up, Down, Down, and with the crossover that happened at E3, they should probably put him in the match. I think it would make for a very more interesting mechanic if you give Xavier Woods, at least give him one. Like he doesn't have to be the singles guy going forward. They're probably gonna make Big E the singles guy out after the New Day's done. It'll be the Roman effect, which I hope that they don't try to shove them down our throats.
Yeah.
I think that like Xavier Woods should at least get one moment to shine. I think he should get the spot in the ladder match.
Yeah, yeah, and you raise a good point too, because with as popular as Xavier Woods is, like to see him have that singles push would be something unique for the
It'll
New
be
Day.
different and it'll be a curve because everybody, from what it looks like, everybody's expecting Big E.
Yeah,
So it would be a huge swerve. You know what happened last night on Takeover, right?
yeah.
Was anybody expecting the way the match was going? Was everybody expecting like Tommaso Ciampa to come in and actually end up winning the match?
No.
No,
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 it was
not
wonderful. It was the best swerve possible.
Yeah.
exactly.
good.
So
And
like
the crowd hated him.
Yeah,
That's
you,
the way they're doing Ciampa Gargano right now is like the perfect way to do a feud.
It
Yes.
is.
So good. Like it's so like you don't see that too much happen in wrestling, let alone like in WWE. And the fact that NXT is like holding on to it, like they're just keeping it in their pockets, is like wonderful. And who knows what they're gonna do when we get to Brooklyn? Like I heard already people saying no, the feud ender should be Hell in a Cell. Like put those two in a cell, and the NXT show, and people will go wild for it. Now I would.
yeah,
I'd love to
definitely.
see it.
Oh yeah, same here. And real quick, as for my predictions for Money in the Bank, for the women's Money in the Bank, like I have wants and predictions. So who I want to see win would be either Ember Moon or Becky Lynch, who's been so criminally underutilized.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You talking to the Lich guy right here.
Yeah, like
Underrated, the most underrated female in WWE.
yeah.
And main roster. Let me rephrase that. Main roster. Like they definitely should be using her more.
Oh,
She
yeah.
should have a bigger. She should be on par with like in terms of championships with like Sasha and Charlotte. Not necessarily like 4 or 5 or anything, but she should be the champion on SmackDown right now.
I absolutely agree. And I think that they'll probably have Natalya win, so they can kind of build some feud between her and Ronda Rousey
for-
moving forward.
I heard that. I've been hearing rumblings about that. I don't like it, but I get it.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Is
Yeah.
a cat. Yeah, Ronda right now is a cash cow.
Oh yeah. And
Yeah, that's true.
and also for the men's Money in the Bank, like I said, I would love to see Rusev win because that would make so much sense. But I think Braun Strowman winning would just be completely predictable because
Very predictable.
that and like at this point, Braun Strowman doesn't really need the Money in the Bank because he's so over. I would love to see like either Samoa Joe or Finn Balor, if only so he can have that briefcase so he can get the Universal title back because he never lost it technically. He can cash in on Brock Lesnar probably, or even the Miz, especially like the Miz, like he's having the best run of his career. Like he elevated the Intercontinental Championship in the last year and a half. So to have him be Universal Champion would be like the perfect like cap to his momentum.
But I don't want him to win Universal title. I actually want him to win the WWE title because, like I say, look what he did with the Intercontinental title. He took it from what was supposed to be the workhorse title. Then it was just like nothing. It's pretty much like nothing now. I mean, with all due respect to AJ Styles, but it's like he actually said in an interview, the WWE title should be the main event. It should be the last match.
Yeah.
If he can do that with the IC title, he can definitely do that with the WWE title.
Good thing about Money in the Bank, and I'm glad they've been bringing this up a lot in like the last couple of weeks. They did say that the superstar who wins Money in the Bank can only cash in on their brand's champion. So if the winner is from SmackDown, WWE champion, Raw, Universal, and same for the women, you can only cash in on your brand. So I think that will help a little bit, which is why I don't think the Universal title, like Raw, is going to get Money in the Bank. It's going to be somebody from SmackDown because Raw doesn't need the men's Money in the Bank. They could the women's maybe, but they don't need the men's.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I'm looking forward to Money in the Bank tonight, and
and our event threads.
and our event threads, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Also, Fantasy
I'll be on
Warfare.
that tonight.
Yep.
Part of that.
Oh yeah.
All the way, like, come on, don't put Roman and Jinder in the mid card. Like, get them on, start the show, show opener, kill the crowd, and then like they'll get hyped the rest of the way.
Yeah. So yeah. Lastly, to wrap things up, Ed, thank you so much for chatting with us on our CODEXTRA, and tell our listeners where can they find you and the Party Nerds.
Sure. So if you're looking for us always go live at 6:45. Wildfire Radio is our main source for that. We also are on iTunes afterwards. We always put our podcast on iTunes. We also have our Instagram at The Party Nerdz, and then on Tuesdays in the afternoon, myself and AJ always go live on Twitch as well. This Tuesday, we'll be playing The Last of Us from the PS4 to get ourselves hyped for Part 2.
Nice.
So we'll be having that game going, but usually our Instagram is the best way to get updates on what we got going on.
Mm-hmm. Right on. Yeah. So.
Yep, and thank you, Ed. This is a long time in the making, so.
Yes.
I hope to do this more often. I hope to get you guys on our show.
Dude, I would love to go to Jersey.
Yes. Same here.
You guys plan on coming to New York Comic Con at some point?
I do. I plan on going. I plan on going this year. We wanted to go last year, but we waited too long, and the tickets were sold out.
Yeah.
So, the tickets fiasco is nuts right now, man. New York Comic Con, like literally, I saw people scooping up tickets, and I think once they for the pre-sale, they were gone in like 15 minutes. Saturdays were gone.
Wow.
Thursday you can buy right now; they're still available. But I think everybody's waiting for the general sale. Like at mid-July, they'll have a general sale.
Okay.
Anybody can buy from there.
Nice.
That's probably what we'll do. I mean, we ain't ballers with the press passes like you guys, but we'll get there soon.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You guys will.
Oh, indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that about does it for our CODEXTRA. So thank you so much, Ed, for joining us, and
You guys, I appreciate coming on. It's great.
yeah, and as always, we will catch you on the flip at Codex Prime. So peace out, nerds.
Later.